you're feeling bloated in your face, these tips are for you. I'm going to take you through my 7-step facial yoga exercises, and you can start doing this today. Once you've done that, you've actually activated your lymphatic system and you're getting things going. Now the massage is really going to have somewhere to go. So the toxins are going to be able to flow out of the skin, out of the extracellular matrix. Remember, our environment is very toxic, so the foods that we eat, the pollution in the air, it ends up being trapped in our skin, and we want to get that flowing out of our skin. Welcome to the Holistic Skin Guru, where what's on the surface is just as important as what's underneath. I'm your host, Aamena. Let's dive deep into the world of holistic skincare. Okay, so what's trending at the moment is face yoga. And if anyone has tried it, you would have noticed an amazing difference in your skin. But with face yoga, you need to be consistent and you need to practice. It takes about 4 to 5 goes before you feel comfortable with the process. But I teach a very, very simple technique. There's only 7 steps. It's not a full face yoga, but it'll get you going. And I like teaching people this because it's nice and simple. You can start doing it today and it's completely free. So the reason why face yoga is so great, it actually helps stimulate our lymphatic system and it starts to get things flowing. So I want you to think about your skin as a layer and think about it as a body of water, because within the skin, we have a gelatinous mass that holds everything together. This is very simplified terms, but it's in a way to make you understand how the skin works. And in that gelatinous matter, we have everything that sits in your skin, like your hair follicles and your pores and everything else is sitting in there, right? And we also have what's called our extracellular matrix. So we have a mechanism within that makes elastin and makes collagen, which is called the fibroblast. And we want to stimulate the fibroblast so that it makes more collagen and more elastin. So when that body of water becomes stagnant, then our skin starts to dull and we start to see the imperfections in our skin and all that sort of stuff. But when that body of water is flowing, then our skin starts to look healthy, it starts to brighten up, and the skin starts to function like it was designed to function. So the reason we love face yoga so much is that we can actually get that body of water moving. And we do that by exercising it, using our fingers to exercise the muscles in our face. Remember, our facial muscles, we have the most muscles in our face than anywhere else in our body. And our facial muscles are what carries our expressions and our emotions. And when we have certain expressions and certain emotions that we carry, certain things are going on in our lives, we actually store that memory in our muscles. So when we do things like face yoga, we're helping our facial muscles to let go of a lot of trauma and expressions and emotions that have happened in our lives that have been stored in our skin. We also tend to get very, very tight masseters when we are stressed out. The facial massage helps us to loosen up that area and give us some relief. Make sense? Okay, I'm going to take you through my 7-step facial yoga exercises, and you can start doing this today. I do have a video on my salon page on Instagram, which takes you through the 7 steps, but I'm going to take you through it again today, and I'm going to talk you through it because on Instagram, it's just me showing the steps with a bit of music in the background. So this way, I'll talk you through it just the way I do with my clients in clinic on a daily basis. Okay, so the first thing is we want to start with a clean skin. So make sure your skin is thoroughly cleansed and have a beautiful facial oil on the side to use on your skin for this massage. Clean hands and apply maybe 1 or 2 drops of your facial oil. I recommend if you're doing this at night, you use a vitamin A oil or even a sea buckthorn oil, and you can mix that in with a little bit of black seed oil and castor oil. These are all beautiful, nourishing oils for your skin. And so while you sleep, your skin will just take in all of their goodness and you'll wake up feeling amazing. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to open up our termini. The termini sits just above the collarbone. So look for your collarbone here. Find your collarbone and then take your fingers, the little pads on the tips of your fingers, and place them above your collarbone and just give a few light taps. Okay, so I would do about maybe 6 or 7 of these taps and that's waking up your lymphatic system. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. Very, very simple. You don't need to apply too much pressure. Very, very light, just a little bit of tapping. That's it. Once you've done that, apply the oil onto your hands and place your hands on either side of your neck and just do a very light pumping motion. Now, this is getting your lymphatic system going. Our lymphatic system sits around the circumference of our face, down the center of our body, and then we have lymph nodes around our neck and down even under our armpits. We have lymph nodes, and it will just help to start draining that. I would do about 10 of these, very, very lightly and very slowly. As you can see, I'm not really tugging the skin too much, okay? Once you've done that, place your fingers, create a fork in your fingers like that, and place your fingers on either side of your ears. And the same thing, just do a very, very light tugging motion, no pressure. Just kind of move the skin up and down and do that 10 times. Once you've done that, you've actually activated your lymphatic system and you're getting things going. Now the massage is really going to have somewhere to go. So the toxins are going to be able to flow out of the skin, out of the extracellular matrix. Remember, our environment is very toxic. So the foods that we eat, the pollution in the air, it ends up being trapped in our skin. And we want to get that flowing out of our skin and into our lymphatic system, and then have our lymphatic system filter it down into our kidneys and out through our urine and our feces. So we want that all gone. We want it out of our system completely. And so this is what's going to help do that. The first movement is just to create little hooks with your fingers, right? And start from the center of your chin, work your way all the way up to your ear, okay? Can you see that? Do that 10 times, but do both sides at the same time, all right? You will start to feel some activity. So your skin will start to feel like, you're bringing the blood vessels to the surface of the skin and the skin starts to activate, for lack of a better word. After that, we want to take the same prongs on our fingers. God's given us great tools. They're called fingers. And what we're gonna do is place one knuckle just under the eye area and the other knuckle sits just under your cheekbone. Okay, and we're gonna drain. We're going to drain towards the hairline because remember, our lymphatic system sits around the circumference of our face, and we're going to drain towards the hairline, okay? So just think about all of that stagnation, everything that's sitting there, we're just getting it to flow, all right? And we're using our knuckles, let the oil allow the slip happening, and we don't need to apply pressure or anything like that, just very gently. And it will feel really good. If you suffer from sinuses, it'll feel really, really, really good and you'll get some relief. Okay, once you've done that 10 times, then I like to come opposite hand, opposite brow, and just walk your fingers up from your brow, the top of your brow line up towards your hairline. Okay, just with your oil, and you can start to see. So I'll do a little bit up here and you'll start to see a change in my eyebrow just in the little few movements that I'm doing now, and then switch over and you'll literally see your brow lift. You can do this as long as you like. I usually do it for about a minute, roughly. Once you've done that, you get your fingers and make an L shape like that, both sides, and then put your hands on either side of your nose, making sure that there's contact with the skin on both the forefinger and the thumb. So don't let go of your skin. Make sure there's no gaps. And then just drain out from under your eye all the way to your hairline, making sure that everything is a sliding motion and you're sliding all of this underneath and all of this along here. So what you've actively done is you've allowed for your lymphatic system to kick in and for the blood to start to flow. You'll see your skin will feel a little bit red in spots where you've, knuckled or whatever. And that's good because that means that the blood is flowing, and it's kind of a little bit of what we do in treatment when we're doing facials. So you're giving yourself a mini facial. There are other things that you can add to this. So if you have a turkey neck and you've got a lot of skin or you've got a lot of stagnation here in your neck and you feel like you've got bulk, you can actually move that by just using your thumb and doing some movements. Be careful not to touch your thyroid. So avoid your thyroid. Your thyroid sits around here. Just avoid that. Just work underneath your chin and start doing these drainage movements towards your ear, which is where your lymph nodes sit. And you'll start to see over time, if you do this regularly, consistently for weeks, you will start to see within 5 to 7 days, you'll start to see the reduction in this area, because a lot of stagnation sits in this area of people's faces, mainly because of our diet and sugar and also all the pollution in the air. So that wraps up our face yoga session. Please feel free to have a look at Skin Fit New Farm Instagram page. I've pinned that video to the top of our Instagram page, so it's easy for you to find. And in the comments, I've actually put down the steps, the 7 steps, so you can follow them as well. Or you can rewind and watch this video again, and you can go through all the steps with me. And if you do this 3 or 4 times, I would recommend you do nighttime with a vitamin A, and you can mix your sea buckthorn, black seed oil, and castor oil in there. And then in the morning when you're washing your face, do it with your cleanser on your face. It's a great way to cleanse your skin, get all that vitamin A off your skin, but also get you set up for your day. Thank you for joining me on Holistic Skin Guru. If this episode has helped you get one step closer to achieving your skin goals, I'd love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform too. If you've got any questions about your skin, I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me at Holistic Skin Guru on all platforms. Don't forget, as a listener, you can get 10% off all treatments at our Skin Fit New Farm clinic in Brisbane. Simply pop the word podcast in your booking online or mention it on the phone when you book.